The clip blowing up on every social feed right now says everything about what's really going down inside the Cleveland Browns organization. Andrew Berry, the general manager who took nonstop heat for drafting Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round, just got his moment of "told you so" in front of the whole world. Cameras caught him walking straight up to his quarterback right after that historic debut win, and the interaction was wild. This wasn't some stiff handshake or basic congrats. This was real excitement, real pride, and the kind of relief you only see from a man who finally watched his risky move pay off big. "How does it feel, bro?" Andrew Berry asked Shedeur with a huge smile, and Shedeur's response hit perfect. It was exactly what you want from a young quarterback who just shook up the league. "We got a lot to improve on, man, but made some tackles today. Yeah, shaved more than I gave up."
Right at halftime, so right before you see me, right when you see me.
That humble, locked-in reply, while still owning the moment, showed he's built like a true pro. And the way Berry reacted to his QB said everything. The way he stepped to him, the warmth in his voice, the pure hype in his eyes. It showed just how much he's invested in Shedeur's rise and how personal this moment was for him. Now let's talk about Andrew Berry's situation, because the context matters heavy. This is the GM who stuck his name on the line by drafting Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round. He dealt with critics clowning the pick. He took heat from media voices who swore Shedeur didn't deserve a roster spot. He pushed through politics inside the building from people who wanted a different quarterback. And through all that chaos, Berry stood tall and backed Shedeur. He believed in him, fought for him, and finally got the chance to put him on the field. And now, after Shedeur just became the first Browns rookie quarterback in 30 years to win his debut, after snapping a 17-game losing streak that had the whole franchise stressed, after throwing for 200-plus yards and showing the calm and fire that made Berry bet on him in the first place, the GM finally gets to enjoy his victory lap. This right here is vindication. This is validation. This is the moment that proves Andrew Berry knew exactly what he was doing when he picked Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round. No matter what the doubters claim, the way this clip exploded online shows how hungry people are for something real in pro sports. We're used to staged press talks and fake smiles between execs and players, but this moment with Berry and Shedeur was nothing like that. The emotion was raw. The pride in Berry's voice and the way he moved couldn't be staged, and fans felt that energy instantly. That's why the video got pushed everywhere: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, because it felt real in a world full of corporate sports acting.
How do you think you played?
I don't think I played good. I don't think I played good at all. I think it's a lot of things, we need to look at, during the week and go and just get comfortable, even throwing routes, with Jerry, and throwing routes with all those guys. So I think that was my first ball to him all year.
But here's where things take a sharp turn and get even louder. Shedeur Sanders did not get the game ball after his historic debut. Let that sink in for a second because it sounds unreal. The quarterback who snapped a 30-year curse, the rookie who won his first start when 17 Browns rookies before him couldn't, the guy who threw for 200-plus yards and made highlight plays all night, somehow didn't walk out with that game ball. Instead, it went to Myles Garrett, the defensive beast who racked up 3 sacks in that dominant win. And to be fair, Garrett earned his shine for sure. 3 sacks is crazy production, and he's been one of the real bright spots in Cleveland's toughest years. The whole defense was on fire, stacking up 10 sacks and locking down the Raiders completely. Nobody is trying to take anything from Garrett because his performance was elite. But here's what's sparking the debate. This was a franchise-changing night, and the biggest moment was tied directly to what Shedeur pulled off. Ending that rookie QB debut losing streak was massive. It was the storyline everyone tuned in for, the thing the football world couldn't stop talking about. The moment people will remember years from now is what Shedeur pulled off, and for the coaching staff to skip him for the game ball feels wild. Inside a locker room, that gesture matters because it shows who the organization really values, and a lot of fans online are saying Shedeur got snubbed hard. Myles Garrett handled everything like a pro, talking about his teammates balling out and treating his 3-sack night like just another chapter in his dominant career. But for Shedeur, this wasn't routine. This was a breakthrough, a turning point for the whole franchise. Then came that emotional tunnel moment with Deion Sanders. father and son connecting with real pride on their faces while security stepped in to give them space. It was powerful, and everyone around them felt how special it was. But Shedeur's comments after the game hit even harder. 1 week of practice. This win is crazy. Imagine what a full off-season looked like. It get dangerous. That wasn't just humility. That was Shedeur quietly exposing how poorly Cleveland handled the quarterback situation. Think about it. He won his debut, made history, threw for over 200 yards, and delivered big-time plays after getting only 1 week of first-team reps. He wasn't the starter in camp, didn't get the offense built around him, and still showed out. Now imagine him with a full off-season, real chemistry, and the whole system designed for him. It get dangerous is an understatement. That comment was Shedeur's way of calling things out without dragging anyone by name. He basically said, if I can do this with 1 week, imagine what I'd do if I'd been the starter from day one. And that raises the real question. How many wins did Cleveland leave on the table by waiting so long to give him the job? Now, Kevin Stefanski and the staff are stuck facing the heat because Shedeur exposed everything in the smoothest, most professional way possible. Fans and analysts are asking why he didn't get first-team reps in camp, why he was sitting behind quarterbacks who weren't producing, and whether politics kept him off the field longer than necessary. After watching Shedeur shine with almost no prep, those questions aren't whispers anymore. They're loud, direct, and hard to dodge. And with this performance, Andrew Berry's whole position inside the building just leveled up in a major way. If anyone doubted his talent evaluation or tried to question his job security, Shedeur just answered all that. Berry drafted him when other teams passed, fought to keep him on the roster, pushed for him to get his chance, and now the quarterback he believed in just made history and proved he belongs at this level. A real GM's job is to spot undervalued talent and put it in the right spot to shine, and that's exactly what Andrew Berry did. The gap between Berry's security and Stefanski's situation is getting obvious fast. Berry looks sharp for drafting Shedeur, while Stefanski looks shaky for not playing him sooner and for skipping him on the game ball after a historic night. If Cleveland had dropped this game, Stefanski would have been in serious trouble. Even with the win, people are still questioning his choices and whether he knows how to use the talent he has. And when Shedeur joked about somebody calling him Junior, it showed how folks are already comparing him to his father, because being Deion Sanders' son comes with huge expectations. But Shedeur doesn't run from that pressure. He flips it into fuel. He respects his father's legacy, but plays in a way that builds his own lane, and that confidence is why people connect with him so fast. What makes all this even stronger is the support system around Shedeur. He has Deion's guidance from years in the spotlight, a GM like Berry who believed in him from day one, vets like Myles Garrett who can help him handle NFL life, and a fan base desperate for a quarterback who can actually lead this team forward. And now the social media buzz around the game ball controversy is rolling heavy in Shedeur's favor, which shows just how much people already see him as the guy in Cleveland. Fans are heated that Shedeur didn't get that recognition. Former players are calling it questionable, and analysts are debating whether the staff really believes in him. The whole conversation has blown up on its own, putting the Browns in an awkward spot that could have been avoided by simply giving Shedeur the game ball. Myles Garrett mentioning, "Andrew watching over me today," was a powerful tribute to a fallen teammate, and nobody should take away from that emotion. But honoring a teammate doesn't erase the fact that Shedeur's historic night deserved its own spotlight too, and both moments could have been celebrated without any conflict. Now the big question is what Cleveland does next at quarterback. Do they roll with Shedeur for the rest of the season, or do they try to go back to the previous starter once he's healthy? The spark Shedeur brought, plus the numbers he put up, make a strong case that he should keep the job. But sometimes, teams stick to old decisions, even when the new answer is staring them in the face. Shedeur's comment about imagining a full offseason is going to haunt the Browns if they don't commit to him as their guy. He basically told the world he can be even better with real preparation. And if Cleveland ignores that, and he shines somewhere else or the Browns keep struggling, that quote will be replayed nonstop as proof they had the solution and refused to trust it. The way Andrew Berry's moment with Shedeur blew up online shows how badly people want to believe in the Browns again. Even after years of chaos and jokes, there's still real hope that Cleveland can finally flip the script. And seeing the GM and his young QB share that raw, honest celebration made fans feel like something new might finally be starting. Shedeur's emotional intelligence in his post-game comments was impressive too. He shouted out his teammates and coaches, stayed humble, and still found a clever way to say he deserves real opportunity without sounding entitled. That kind of balance shows maturity way beyond his age, and it's the exact mindset a franchise quarterback needs. Now the pressure on Cleveland's coaching staff is sky high. The fans want Shedeur. The media's backing him. The GM fully believes in him. And most importantly, Shedeur just proved he can handle the moment under bright lights. If Stefanski tries to go back to the old quarterback plan, the backlash from Browns fans is going to be massive. So now we're here. Andrew Berry finally got his vindication. Shedeur Sanders made history, didn't get the game ball, and the whole football world is arguing about what Cleveland should do next. A fifth-round pick who many said didn't belong in the league just showed he might be exactly what the Browns have been missing for 30 years. What's your take on Berry's emotional moment with Shedeur after the win? Should Shedeur have gotten the game ball? Should the Browns lock him in as the permanent starter? And how big was that? 1 week of practice. Quote in your eyes. Drop your thoughts in the comments because I want to hear how you see this whole situation. If you made it this far, you're clearly locked into Shedeur's journey and ready for every twist that's coming next. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest updates on the Browns and Shedeur's rise. Smash that like button if you think he deserved the game ball, and share this with any Browns fans you know because moments like this are what they've been waiting on forever. The drought is over, history was made, and this story is just getting started. So keep watching, keep believing, and keep tapping in for more fire content. See you on the next one.